Welcome back to Sports on Tap. I'm your host, James Laney, with my co-host, Kyle Johnson.
How we doing?
Just going to be us today. But once again, before we get started, just going to have to remind you folks that we are on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all of them. You name it, we got it. Please share, like, follow, subscribe, tell your friends about us. We'd love them to watch us.
Well, speaking of young talent, too, LaMelo Ball, I've heard him every other day, and he's not doing half of what Zion is doing. I really think it's very selective, what the media is talking about.
Well, partially, two things for LaMelo Ball.
Two
things why I think the media is covering LaMelo Ball a little more is because, one, he's running away with Rookie of the Year, so there's an award on the line.
It's not even close.
But that's what I'm saying. He's running away with Rookie of the Year, so it's like, okay, he's going to win this award. Where Zion, he could be playing better, but there's no award he can win. And secondly, what his dad has made the Ball family, it's just, and no one wrong, he's actually the first one I would say that has exceeded expectations.
I'll tell you, I fucking cannot stand LeVar, but LaMelo can ball. Holy crap. That dude is what I thought Lonzo was going to be.
He reminds me of what a better Ben Simmons, like a Ben Simmons that can shoot.
Yeah.
That is exactly, don't get me wrong, he's not, actually Ben Simmons hasn't been playing good this year, but.
He just hasn't been scoring this year. He's defensively, still probably one of the.
But when he's one of your top players, you need him to score more than 12 points a game.
Oh, agreed.
But I feel like LaMelo's already at that pace where his feel for the court, and I thought his brother, this was the big thing, his brother had Lonzo, feel for the court, playmaking ability to score 8. I think LaMelo might be even better than him. Well, and he's a better shooter.
Well, see, they play very similar. The thing that I see in LaMelo that I don't see in Lonzo is LaMelo just like, he has that like swagger to him as a point guard. Like Lonzo, especially in high school and like in college too, he was very, like you'd see all those alley-oops, behind the back passes. You'd see like all these flashy things like that Lonzo could do. He'd take the ball, immediately drive to the lane, draw a foul, slam, like dunk something. Like he lost his touch, I think, Lonzo, or at least the I'm the best player on this court type attitude. LaMelo has not at all. Like the other day, it's crunch time. They're down. This was probably the play I was like, oh, this guy's the real deal. They're playing the Sixers. They're down, I think, 9 points with like 30 seconds left. Embiid is dribbling up the court. He thinks the game's over. He's like kind of whatever. And LaMelo, right behind him, runs up, takes it, steals it, immediately runs down to the other end, splashes a 3 with like 20. Now there's 20 seconds left, down 6. So the game totally changed on that one play. And I'm just like, this kid's got it. I love that.
You know what I think the difference between, like you said, most of these guys, because so many guys do play in so many leagues before coming to the NBA, and a lot of these guys are the number one player, where LaMelo, you could debate, he is, if not the number one player on his team, he's a top player on his team. Where when Lonzo came in,
he's not the top option, but he is facilitating a lot of offense.
But when Lonzo came in, it's, one, you're playing for a bigger franchise, so there's a lot more pressure on you. And two, then LeBron James comes in, it's like, yeah, you're clearly not the top player. Like if LeBron...
they never played together, did they? LeBron and Lonzo?
They spent a year together.
Oh.
So I think, and I know people like LeBron helps people get back up and stuff, but it's like, the kid's mentality might have already been ruined then with the bigger... I don't know.
I don't think it was ruined. I mean, the thing First Take actually talks about this a lot. One of the big things, especially with the NBA, patience with watching these players. Perfect example, Josh Jackson. He was drafted, same draft as Tatum. I think he was like the 4th pick. He was right up there with him. He was definitely a top 5. He was in the G League to start this year with the Detroit Pistons because he had just sucked with Phoenix, like just absolutely dog water. And I think he just came back because of injuries, COVID, whatever. He played like 36 minutes. He's averaging like 14 points a game right now, especially over the last 10 games. He's probably up to like 16, 17 points a game. Like he's playing really well. Good defensively. And it just kind of clicked. And it took him 4 or 5 years just to get to that point.
It's weird because you get some of these guys like LaMelo who off the rip is just like, oh, this kid's a starter. Like he didn't start off as a starter. And it's just, how good is he though? Like where would you... I know I asked you this before the show, and we talked about it a little, but do you think he's a top 10 point guard of active players right now?
No. I like him, don't get me wrong, but no, not even close. He's
I
only averaging
did it
like
at
14 points a game.
I did it at a quick glance. I wouldn't put him top 10, but I think he's closer than people realize. Debatably top 15. This is kind of just off the head. I haven't done any real deep.
Don't forget too. He's not super consistent. He's super young. His consistency needs a lot of work.
His potential is top 10 easily.
His potential
is
like
overall though. I think he could be in the top 15 debate. I would have to do a real deep dive into it. This is just something we were talking about before the show. I kind of wanted to throw it in there sorry to keep cutting you off, but it's just his total work. I know he's not scoring a lot, but as a point guard, I don't think that isn't always your main point. And I get it's more you're supposed to be the facilitator, which he is. His just feel for the court. I actually haven't gotten to watch a lot of him, but what I have seen,
go look up some of his highlights.
His full court passages, his passing ability is unbelievable. What I've seen, and I think, as a guy that's going to facilitate the game, I think that's a little more important. And plus, his shooting's not bad. And I get what you mean. He's not consistent, but he is a rookie.
He's got a long way to improve, but I like his floor.
Yeah,
right
I'm not putting him up like with Steph or anything. I'm not even entering that. He's not even close to that conversation.
But to see where his floor is really exciting. Because if this is baseline, what you're going to get, like if this is the worst that he plays for his entire career, he's going to be a decent player for the rest of his career. Like he's going to be
a guy that can
solid guy. Like I could see him at his worst, playing like Terry Rozier, one of his teammates. At his worst. At his best, I mean, we could see how that goes.
It's tough because the guy who he really reminds me a lot of, and I think he's got more of the confidence, Ben Simmons. He really does remind me of a better Ben Simmons.
Same size.
That's what it is a lot, but I think LaMelo's just a better, well, I know he's a better shooter.
Yeah.
Where Ben Simmons outside of...
If LaMelo puts on 20 pounds too.
Which a lot of these guys do in the NBA.
Dude, they're younger than us.
Look at Giannis.
He's literally younger than us.
I know. Look at Giannis, though. That's the thing. Where it's like this guy came in as a little scrawny kid, and now he's one of the most yoked players in the league.
Yeah.
So, like you said, LaMelo puts on 20, not even 20 pounds, like 15.
10,
like it's...
He's going to start looking a lot different. And I'll tell you, he excites the shit out of me. Just like watching him do he had a crazy putback dunk the other day, too. It might have been a couple weeks ago now that I'm thinking about
it. He's athletic, he can
shoot,
shoot, he's a decent defender, and his passing ability is great.
The thing I really like about him, though, that like really stands out is his IQ. Like, where to be, how to move. Like, there's a lot of little things in basketball, like a lot of little things. There's a reason, like, some of these people, like Royce O'Neal, plays for the Jazz. He does not score anything. Nobody ever hears about him. The guy plays 36 minutes a game, averages like 4 points, but he is one of those guys that just, the reason he's out there is because he keeps things moving. He's a good defender. He does everything right, other than they just don't ask him to score. So you don't know who he is.
You know why I think LaMelo, and part of this is his dad, why he IQ-wise is up there. One, he played in professional leagues, not so much Lithuania because that was a mess, but like, let's not forget, he was playing in Australia before this, which is one of the...
That's a real basketball league.
Which, outside of the NBA, is, like, I think it's, like...
it's top 5.
NBA, it's easily top 5. It's like NBA, the Euro League, and then Australia is somewhere up there.
Yeah.
I can't say I know all the world leagues.
No, whatever.
Basketball.
USA whoops ass every year. Doesn't matter.
Either way, but he's playing in one of these top leagues at, like, 17, 18, which I think is huge. I don't know how old he is now. I know he's young. He's, like, 19. But either way, he's playing in a professional league, and, like, he was playing well, and it just speaks volume because another guy, Luka, did the same thing, the EuroLeague, and don't get me wrong, he was even farther along because he was, like, dominating in that league, but there's these guys like LaMelo where it's like, okay, they play a more professional, fundamental kind of basketball, where a lot of these guys in the NBA, it's like, oh, look at my ISO, and don't get me wrong, if you're James Harden, that's great, but you need to know some fundamentals behind it if you want to be able to have the IQ of the game.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. He's just been like, you should definitely go take a look at like some of his game. Like go watch highlights after this. Just the way that he plays is very
it's cold.
Well, I mean, you haven't drank it in 25 minutes. Plus, that's big enough for me to put my whole ass foot in. So that's, no heat retention. But yeah, no, he I don't even know.
Yeah, sorry, I just threw you for a whirl.
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, all right, that's
I'd say that's all you got, because that's all I got.
Yeah,
we like the kid. Excited.
I said all I need to say on him.
Nice. Okay. At
Thanks.
the end of the show for today, folks, thanks for tuning in. Once again, quick reminder, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, we got it. Signing off.